I am not disciplined. I am not motivated. And I am not grinding in a gym for 3 hours a day, every single day. I quite honestly am lazy. And me saying this out loud to you guys right now kind of hurts my ego a bit because growing up as a kid, I always glamorized the hard work, the efforts, the sacrifices, the early mornings, the late nights, staying a bit later after soccer practice. Like I always just like thought the harder I work, the better the results I get. And I had this strong association with that exactly, where if I do more reps, if I stay longer in the gym, if I stay longer after practice, if I just do all these things, that automatically I therefore get better results. And so by me saying this right now, that's I am lazy. It kind of sounds a bit weird and it kind of really hurts my ego a bit. But that very reason, after doing some self reflection, is exactly why I am not in the best shape of my life right now, but why I'm able to stay in the best shape of my life. Now, I have ran 5 marathons in the past 2 years. I've stepped on 3 bodybuilding stages, and I coach busy men with careers, wives, and kids who drop 30 to 50 pounds without living in the gym or sacrificing their favorite foods. And none of us rely on motivation or on discipline or on willpower, which so many people glamorize. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can build a lazy system that makes staying lean and strong feel automatic. I'll break it into 3 different parts. Number 1, lazy workouts. Number 2, lazy eating. And number 3, a lazy daily schedule that does the work for you. So let's start with point number 1, lazy workouts. Here's the truth. The laziest people don't do more than you are doing right now. They make less do more. Most guys think getting in shape means more exercises, more days in a gym, more time, more sweat, and more suffering. But I run everything off of convenience. And I think a lot of us as human beings, we thrive of convenience and we really like that, right? We live in a world nowadays where everything is so convenient to us. Fast food places are so convenient. We got all these apps on our phones that we can just order everything that we want. It's so convenient. Like the longer we live, the more convenience the world gets because we are lazy by nature. Why would we walk to the grocery store when we can create a bike? And then why would we bike to the grocery store when we can build a car? Right. And that's where we're at right now, where we have cars. But I won't be surprised in the next couple of years where just through human evolution, we create, I mean, who knows? We've created so many other things. We've created scooters. We created, like, maybe next will be like flying cars. Like, who knows, right? But the more that we evolve, the lazier that we tend to get, and the more things that we create to facilitate that laziness. So once again, I run everything off convenience. My workouts, they're short, they're repeatable, and they're predictable. So for example, I do not decide what I'm going to train today. It is already written down. Push, pull, legs, repeat. That is just my current split, but yeah, it is already written down. So I don't have to think twice about what I'm going to be doing today. It's the same movements, the same structure within the same time window. Now, when I wake up in the morning, there is absolutely zero debate. I do not negotiate with myself. There is no, do I feel like training today? Do I feel good today? How do I feel? How do I feel emotionally? None of that crap. I just show up and run the script, almost like a robot would, because there's no debate. Now, back when I used to rely on motivation and on willpower and on discipline, sure, some days would be absolutely fantastic. But then most days, I'd miss sessions, I'd overthink my workouts, and I'd be scrolling on my phone instead of just training. Now, the moment I made my training boring and automatic, my results just absolutely exploded. So lazy doesn't mean careless. It means more efficiency. It means that you're more efficient, because if you were to get a lazy person to build a business, what would they do? They would probably find the laziest way to build that business, meaning that he'd put in the least amount of effort to get the most amount of result. And wouldn't we want that? Wouldn't we want to do the least amount of work in order to get the most amount of results? Because I know so many people who, like myself, glamorize the hard work, the once again, the late nights, the early mornings, all this stuff. But why do that when you can not do that and almost do the exact opposite and almost find a lazy way to get into the best shape possible, and then use that extra energy that you now have towards maybe more important things in your life, like getting a promotion at work, earning more money, spending more time with your family, with your kids, with your friends, creating more relationships. Wouldn't you want to use your free time on that than meal prepping, spending more time in the gym? I mean, of course not. You may want to when you feel motivated, but you and I both know that motivation will disappear either within a couple days or within a couple weeks, but it will not always be there. And hopefully you realize this by now. We cannot rely on motivation. It is this unreliable, fleeting friend who will be there for the good times, but will disappear during the bad times when we really need it. So let's go over to point number 2, my lazy eating system. This is arguably where most people fail because, like, yes, as men, guys, we like hard work. We like efforts, right? We love watching the movies. We love watching like MMA, the boxing, we love the grunting. Like we love the hard work. Like, don't get me wrong, of course. But when it comes to actually controlling what you put into your body, what you put into your mouth, that's where a lot of men go wrong. They try to eat perfect. They track everything. They weigh everything and cook brand new recipes every single night when you feel motivated, when you feel like, oh, inspired to do this. But once again, you're not always going to feel like that. And that is not sustainable doing that. It is honestly quite exhausting. Now, I used to do the exact same thing. I actually, I'm still a big foodie, don't get me wrong. But I definitely went through a phase where when I was a chubby kid growing up in the Netherlands and then in Canada, I would spend so much time cooking and baking with my mom. I used to love it so much. And now it's almost like I couldn't care less. And then, no, don't get me wrong. I still love eating food. I'm still a big foodie at heart. I go to my favorite restaurants. I love eating sushi, pizza as well. Like those are my top 2 foods. And I really appreciate good flavor, 100%. But when it comes to cooking and baking and spending all this time finding these crazy exotic recipes and then doing all these things, preparing it, putting it in the oven, like all this, like, no, no, I'm busy. I gotta work, you know? So right now, and I've noticed that the older that I've gotten, the lazier that I've gone with this as well, but the more and better results that I've gotten too, which is quite ironic. But I right now eat the same core meals almost every single day, which includes the proteins, fruits, veggies, and healthy fats. That is it, period. And my fridge and my freezer and my pantry, it is boring on purpose, by design. If I open it, I already know what I'm going to eat. I got my meal prep in my fridge. I got my batch cooked chicken breast. I got my fresh fruits and veggies, some frozen fruits and veggies, and that's basically it. My pantry is just filled with a couple of seasonings. And I would say that that is where most of my variety, if you will, comes from, just from using different seasonings. And you'd be surprised. Like if you just have your core main meals of like chicken, veggies, healthy fats, like I love eating chicken breast. Like it's my favorite protein sources. My healthy fats are usually avocado and then whatever fruits and vegetables and yeah, my potatoes. You'd be surprised how different a meal could taste by keeping the same ingredients, but just using different condiments or different seasonings. I got everything but the bagel seasoning, which is my favorite seasoning. And it's like my go-to right now, but I'm going to go grocery shopping later today. And I'm probably going to get a new seasoning. I'm probably going to get maybe like a barbecue seasoning or like a garlic seasoning, like whatever it may be. But just that small little change while keeping the foundation, the core meals the same, but just switching the condiments or seasonings makes a huge difference to your taste buds. So if you want variety, start there. Keep your core meals the same, but just change up the seasonings. You're going to notice a huge difference. And so the reason I do this is because, once again, like why my fridge is boring and why I eat the same meals is there's no decisions, There's no willpower battles and there's no late nights. I'll just have a little of this moments. I used to keep snacks and sauces and random junk in my cupboards, in my fridge, just in case. And every single time I was tired or stressed out, that stuff mysteriously just would disappear because we often eat whenever we're bored or whenever we're stressed. I know a lot of people who do that. I used to do that myself as well, but I no longer because, quite honestly, I don't even have the option. If I have late night cravings and I go into my kitchen, I'm like, oh, damn, like if I did want to eat something, I could only really eat my chicken breast or my meal prep. And you are far better off eating that than binging on a bag of chips, a pint of ice cream, right? And so sometimes it's not about like using more willpower, it's just about creating this environment where binging almost becomes impossible. Like if I really wanted to binge on my diet, I'd have to try really hard. Whereas if I wanted to eat really healthy, like it's just pure laziness. Like it's frictionless for me to eat healthy because it's in my environment. It's so easy, accessible, right? So I made my environment lazy proof. And now being lazy means I accidentally just eat more clean. How cool is that? Let's move over to the last point, my lazy schedule. Most guys try to fit fitness into a chaotic life. I do the opposite. I build my life around a simple, repeatable schedule. I train at the same time, I eat at the same time, and I sleep at the same time. And not only from a convenience perspective, does this make sense? But then also from a biological perspective. Your circadian rhythm, which is your body's biological clock, thrives of that consistency. Because if you're constantly eating different meals at different times throughout the day, and you're doing different workouts at different times throughout the day, and you have an inconsistent sleep schedule, your body has no idea when it should start to get hungry, when it should have more energy, when it should start to feel tired. It doesn't know. It's guessing, just like you are guessing. Now, when I started to have this repeatable, consistent routine, my body actually helped me do these things because now I know, for example, when at what times and what exactly I'm going to be eating at this, and this time. I know exactly when I'm going to be doing my workouts. I know exactly when I'm going to be going to bed. Now, because I've dialed in my routine and I've been so consistent with that, my body will now have hunger cues at that time. I no longer feel the need to snack throughout the day, to graze throughout the day, because I know when I'm going to eat. My body knows when I'm going to eat because I've been so consistent with that. I no longer go through these big energy spikes and then these crashes afterwards because I know exactly when I have the most amount of energy, which tends to be around my workout window. And lastly, I know exactly when I'm going to get tired because I have been going to bed at the same time every single night and I wake up at the same time every single morning for so many years now where I don't even have to rely on an alarm anymore. I don't have to hit that snooze button. I am my alarm. I get sleepy at a certain time, I go to bed at that time. I wake up at a certain time, I get out of bed at that time. If you don't want to rely on your alarm anymore, start being consistent with your schedule. With as many things as you can. I guarantee you, your life will absolutely change because of it. And who doesn't want a repeatable, predictable schedule? I do. I don't want to be waking up every single morning being stressed out about like all these small little things. Like I want to automate and systemize these things. Now I, once again, eat, train, and sleep at the same time, not because I am extreme, but because I don't want to be thinking about it. And now when something is automatic, it doesn't drain your mental energy. Now, every single one of my clients who struggle the most are the ones who wing it. I'll train when I have time. I'll eat better tomorrow. I'll start again on Monday. Now, the guys who win are the ones who make their system so simple, so easy. It feels harder to quit than to continue. One of the things that comes to mind is a lot of people ask me like, hey, Conan, how are you able to run all these marathons? How are you able to just so consistent, eat so healthy, lift all these weights, like do all these things. And I'm at a point now in my life where it is literally harder for me to stop this momentum than it is to just keep on going. Because once you have that momentum behind you, it's almost like wind pushing behind you. It's just easier to keep on going because all this wind, all this momentum is like it's toward going towards your favor, basically. Right. And now, even if I really wanted to stop, I'd have to like plant my feet against the ground, like really try to stop. But like, why do that? When things are going, keep on going. And I tell this to my clients all the time. Like when we're losing the weight, when we're hitting PRs in the gym, when we're eating healthy, when we're just like in this routine, keep on going. Do not stop and don't even question it. It's just like, because a lot of people like, they want me, like, for example, I got check-ins today with my clients. They like it when I make changes to their program. They get excited. They get the dopamine hits. But sometimes when I don't make changes to their program, it's not because I am not doing my job. It's simply because, well, hey, you are doing this and you are seeing results because of doing this. Why on earth will we change anything? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Success leaves clues. We had a successful week. We lost a bunch of weight. We hit PRs in the gym. Let's just replicate that. Let's just do more of what already works. So many people like to change things up every single week, keep things exciting. And yes, there's a point in time when stillness does become a real thing and you hit a plateau. And then, yes, we have to make a change. But when things are going good, when you're enjoying it, when you're making progress, like that, stay in that moment, stay in that zone. That is where all the progress that you are looking for is being made. You don't make progress when you change things up because now your body has to readjust. It has to guess again. It's like, oh, we're doing a different exercise. Okay, let's get used to this again. And then once your body gets used to it, now we can actually start to build the muscle we're looking for. So once you find your groove, once you find your routine, just milk it out. Squeeze as much as you can out of it and ride it out, ride that wave of momentum. That's the biggest hack that I can give anyone right now. But you got to find that groove first. You got to find the momentum first. So here's the real lesson to wrap up this video. Most people think discipline is the secret, but it is not. Design is. If your system is easy, you win even on your worst days. And if your system is hard, you'll lose even on your best days. That is why lazy people like myself, pro athletes, people in the most elite shape possible, stay in shape because we do not rely on motivation. We rely on systems, and systems will always be there for you. They don't leave you on the bad days. They stay there with you. And now if you want help building your own lazy system, what you can do is book your free fitness consultation with me down below. We'll map out your workouts, your meals, and your schedule around your lifestyle, not some fitness influencer's fantasy routine. And now remember this, you do not need more motivation. You just need a better system. Build it once, then let laziness do the work for you. And I'll see y'all soon. Peace.